Welcome back to the Cave of Science, and we're looking at how to manipulate our data we got from our Chemistry Conductivity Lab. Once you downloaded the data to your school folder from the Logger Pro, excuse me, you're going to need to open it up. It's a Excel file, copy the data, and paste it into a Google Sheet. Now you should have three different folders, one for sodium chloride, one for magnesium chloride, and one for aluminum chloride. I did a sample run of sodium chloride, and I only did a couple drops. So you're going to have, I'd had 0 and 1 and 2. You're going to have 9 different columns on here. But the procedure for all of these is, all three samples is going to remain the same here. The thing to remember when you, you downloaded the data, the latest run is going to be your 8 dropper. So just remember that run 1 is going to be where you had no drops in it. So as you're going through that, just remember that. The time is really, we're not really looking at time here. So once you got the data, you're going to want to take the average of your conductivity. Well, to do that, very simply put, you can highlight the column and then you can take an average, and you can do that by going over here where it says functions, click on average, then click right below it, and it's going to give you the average here. Now I'm going to undo this so we can talk about something. When you look at your data, look to make sure it kind of falls in the same range. This one, 3.44, that's definitely out of range. 330, 340, 333, 326, they all look even 321. That all looks a little high. The rest of these looks like looks like pretty good data here, fairly consistent. So why don't we just go ahead and let's get rid of that data. Just highlight it and delete it. These data points look fairly consistent. So we can go ahead and highlight it, go over here to functions, hit average, scroll down here a little bit, and click below that, and there's our average conductivity for the latest run, which for me was with 2 drops. And we can do the same thing for the other runs. So I'm going to look at this one. 9.3. Looks like everything probably somewhere, it's 8.3 to 8.34. Somewhere in this range looks pretty good. So I'm not going to pick out any of these. In fact, I can probably just, well, we just delete them, get them out of the way. And again, we're not worried about time here at all. So I'm going to highlight this column, make sure I get it all, and go back to functions, hit the average, and there's my average for this one. This one's actually no drops of the solution at all. Now I need to do the same thing to my next one here, which is actually the 1 drop. You gotta be careful, make sure you got your runs identified. And 195, 183. So I scroll down, looks like, as long as I'm in the 70s, I'm probably pretty good. So let's go ahead and get rid of these in the 80s. So we'll just delete those, and let's highlight these and take the average. Go to function, average, click below that, and there I have my averages here. So you're going to be doing this 9 times actually, excuse me, for each of the 3 samples. Another interesting thing, for our work, 1 decimal point would probably be good, so you can click on that number and go up here to the table, decrease decimal places, and let's just go to 1. That's probably good for our work. Let's take the average here and do the same thing. 1 decimal place, and let's do the same thing here. Alright, so we've got our averages for all our runs. I would go ahead and make a make a table, and I'm going to drag this one over already. And in that table, again, we're not worried about time, we're worried about drops. So you would have drops 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops on there, and then the conductivity for the three solutions. So I'm going to put in, I know this one is my 0 drops, so I'm going to put in 7.7. My 1 dropper, 172.9, 172.9, and my 3 drops, or 2 drops, excuse me, 317.7, 317.7. So you would continue this all the way through 8 drops for sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, and aluminum chloride. For this demonstration, I just came up with some values here for magnesium chloride and aluminum chloride. You, of course, would use your values. So at this point, we got to make a graph, and we want a line of best fit. We want the slope and everything. So we can go ahead and highlight all this. Let's go to charts, and we want a line chart. Let's go to line chart, and lo and behold, it looks pretty good here. We've got drops, we've got our conductivity, it's located there, so that doesn't look too bad. The only thing we're missing on the graph is the units of conductivity. In the units of conductivity, I'm just going to flip this over, is a microsiemens. So it's a lowercase u, capital S, slash centimeter on here. So that's the unit of resistance that we're using in this. So that is going to go on the y-axis. So we can go to customize, chart and title axis. We want chart title, we want vertical axis title. We're just going to use a lowercase US slash centimeters, and that looks pretty good. So we got that. We got that here. We got the drops here. We're pretty good. Now we need a line of best fit. So we can go back into edit chart. I should probably left it. Go to customize. From here you want to go to series, and we want a trend line. And as you can see, it put 3 trend lines in there. Yeah, let's make it a little color that's easier to see. What's a good one here? Yeah, I don't like that one either. Let's go to this. There we go. Go to this hot pink here. And we have that. And then now we want the label. So if we go to the label, go to use equation, and lo and behold, there's our y-intercept of our slope. Y equals mx plus b. And this is the values for what we need. So at this point, and we can see we got the lines here. And again, remember, on the x-axis, you're going to have all the way out to 8 drops. At this point, you can copy this, put it into a Google Doc, and then from the sheet itself, the worksheet we did for the activity for the lab, this takes us all the way to, on the very last page, to data table. You can create a data table, you have the slopes, and then you can go ahead and answer the 4 questions in processing the data. So with that should be pretty good with this. And again, learn some new skills here, and we will see you later. Oh yes, enjoy your snow day.